this is part of my $20 grocery bill week, and we're starting into the next week. And I bought flour last week to roll it over to this week. So I haven't really bought a whole lot this week because I needed. I bought ham, cornbread mix, tuna. I think everything I bought come to like $16 because I didn't need a whole lot. Now I'm going to show you how I make biscuits, and I do this because it helps keep the biscuits soft and fluffy, and it cuts out that baking powder taste. Just really, really good. Okay, the first thing I do is put about a cup of milk in a glass, and I put 2 good tablespoons of mayonnaise in it. And you got to remember that was 2.5, but anyway, you got to remember that mayonnaise, dried milk and eggs and oil. So when I do this, I don't use lard or vegetable shortening in here. I just put, this is 3 cups of flour, and I put half a stick of butter and this, and believe me, that's all you're going to need. Then I use my inverter to mix the mayonnaise really well in the milk. That way you don't get any lumps. Alright, now that I have that mixed up, now what I do is put just a little over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put about 5 ounces of butter. Or ounces. I put about 5 tablespoons of butter in my flour. I do not put baking powder or anything because this is self-rising flour. And I put very little salt. You don't need a lot of salt because most of self-rising flour already has the salt in it. Then you want to cut all your butter up in your flour. I just love this big old glass bowl. It went to an old vintage mixer, and the way the sides are straight up and they're not baffled out a little bit makes it perfect. Then I just pour my milk and mayonnaise mixture a little bit at a time right in the middle till I get to where I need with it. I guess I should preheat the oven, huh? Alright, and I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. And be careful how much you put in your biscuits of the milk mixture, because if you don't take the time to mix it up right, you could be using too much. So make sure that every little bit you put in there is completely mixed before you add more. Because I'd rather have it just a little dry than a little sticky. Alright, now we're going to switch from spoon to hand to make sure that I'm not putting too much moisture in it. But like I was saying, I love this straight side tall bow because you have a less chance of crap flying out of it. And we're going to put our dough on that. Move our bowl. Then we're going to knead this maybe about 10 times at the most. All right. Now we're going to roll it out. And I'm not too particular about what shape or size. And the reason is because I'm going to be folding it quite a bit. So fold, fold, and roll again. And I like to get my dough down to about ½ inch, because I don't want my biscuits too tall, because these are going to be biscuits that go into my freezer dinners. And I had planned on doing biscuits and gravy for some of the dinners, but then I thought I can't do that because I can't use, well, I mean, you could do it if you use like chicken gravy or beef gravy or turkey gravy or anything like that, but you cannot do it if you're going to use milk gravy, because milk gravy doesn't freeze too good. The ice will cause the milk to separate and your gravy will be absolutely horrible. Are you kidding me? Alright, then we're going to fold it all again. We're going to roll it again. Hopefully I got all of that. I think the camera shut off. Alright. Do this. Now, once all your biscuits are cut, just take them, flip them back and forth in your melted shortening. Then the rest of your dough, pinch it in two and just make handmade biscuits. That way you don't have to roll it out and recut it. They're going to be a different size, but yeah, who cares, right? Now this is the way my grandma used to make biscuits. She would put her lard on the pan, melt it, and then she'd flip her biscuits back and forth in that lard, and they always came out so good. Alright, 400 degrees. Alright, I'm also going to be doing cornbread and ham and beans for freezer meals, and I just bought one box of that Jiffy corn muffin mix, and you just add 1 egg. And the reason I did that is because I need something very small batch, and then you need 1/3 cup of milk. And I picked this smaller pan and I greased it really well with shortening, and the reason I picked that is because I want this not to rise very high. I don't want it flat, but I don't want it to rise very high, and the reason being is I have to cut this to fit in the freezer containers, and they're only maybe 2 inches tall. So I got to try to keep the cornbread as short as I can get it to make it fit in my containers. And that should be just about the right size. I'm not a whole lot into really thin cornbread, unless I'm going to make cornbread stuffing for holiday meals, but this is not stuffing, so anyway, it still should work. But this is just one box of Jiffy cornmeal mix, 55 cents. I bought, oh, I don't know, I think it was 2 pounds of sliced ham, thick sliced ham for like, I got it at Castfield Discount, so I got it for about $3. I went to Dollar Tree and I bought 1.5 pounds of pinto beans, and I gave, I think, $1. So I'm getting off pretty cheap. Alright, let's get this in the oven with the biscuits. I gotta turn those biscuits sideways. Alright, well here's the biscuits and the cornbread. And the cornbread came up just about the right height of where I need it to cut to put in those pans. Alright guys, now we're going to do some scrambled eggs to go in one of them. And I'm just making enough for a couple right now, because right now I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And then I'll get the rest of these done, because I've got 14 meals to make up. So I'm just doing a few right now to show you what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you, you know, a lot of people mix a little bit of milk in their scrambled eggs. Use water. Do not use milk. Water will make your eggs more fluffy. Alright, when your eggs are almost done like this, shut your burner off, because that way the heat from your eggs will keep your eggs cooking and will not overcook them. So just before all the moisture looks like it's gone, shut your burner off and let the eggs finish cooking within themselves. And you'll get better, fluffier eggs. See? Okay, what I did was I took my ham and I cut it to where it would fit in the container. I got this ham, they're end cuts from the meat store here, and you can get about 2-3 pounds for $3 or $4, so that's what I bought, and that way I can get some good ham steaks out of it. Now with this I put ham, and then I'm going to put scrambled eggs right on top of the ham. Alright, and then on the side of that, we're going to put 2 of my biscuits. I hear siren. People, it's the weirdest thing. We are under a tornado watch, a flood watch, and a winter weather advisory, all at the same time. Alright, now for my second batch of meals that I'm doing, and remember I still have 2 of the stir-fry meals from last week. I still have 3 of the chicken meals from last week. What else did I have? And I still got 3 of the macaroni meals from last week. So I didn't even use up everything that I made last week, and still came out ahead. So on this one we're going to, what I did was I cut the cornbread to fit, and that came out just about the right size. Look at that. Cornbread. And then we're going to fill it. This is good old country cooking. Then I made a pot of brown beans, and I cooked ham in them, ham and beans. So there's another meal. So I'll be doing a bunch of these with beans, cornbread, ham and eggs. Like I said, I was going to do some with biscuits and gravy, but I decided not to, because the gravy will not hold up. If it's milk gravy, the gravy will not hold up being frozen. It will, the ice will cause it to come apart. So it depends on how you do it. You can make sausage gravy that will hold up if you want to do it like that. Maybe do some ham with biscuits. Put you some little chopped ham on one side, biscuits covered in sausage gravy, or chicken gravy or turkey gravy, something that'll freeze. Do not use milk gravy. It will not freeze well. You're going to end up with just chunks of ice and this nasty gloopy stuff, so don't do that. Alright guys, this is week number 2 and I've spent $9 for this week. The last 2 weeks, altogether, I've gotten away with about $21. Doing pretty good. So, let's see what happens next week. Bye guys.